Hey guys, as always, thanks for stopping by. An aging president, his health, and what that means for all of us. Yep, let's talk about that. Today's episode is brought to you by all of you Patriots. Every thumbs up is fantastic, as well as the new TriStars just released. I think they're on the website as of this recording. Got the new No Step on the side. You get your tickets to the gun show. Hey, if you can't tell, I'm a little bit wild. Some of y'all know that covered bridge right there. I'm on Thunder Ranch. I'm filming this on Tuesday. I'm going to get this online as soon as I get up to the lodge and get into the Wi-Fi. Didn't tell y'all I was coming. I'm a little bit wild about it. I traveled yesterday. I flew, and then today I did the 4-hour drive through Nevada, California, and up into Oregon. It's a lot of travel, totally worth it, but I've not even gone up the hill yet. I wanted to press record because I'm itching to get this on your radar. Two things. One, there's a whole situation. I've not been able to catch it. A few of y'all were sending me messages on DM of what's going on with the ATF and the honey badger, and we're talking about SBRs being made or pistols being turned into SBRs by the ATF. I understand Jared is covering that, so a shout out to Jared. I'm not even up to date on that. What I am up to date is a conversation about an aging president, and he's gone through the health stuff, allegedly. I know there's a lot of theories that he didn't actually have anything, but there was a really good article in the New York Times that I read last night while I was flying about the challenges of covering an obese, aging president and how there is an army of camera-ready, young and beautiful reporters blogging. I know blogs are from early 2000s, but they're blogging and writing on and reporting on every little heartbeat, or every time he even has gas, they've got a report on it. Some challenges there. The article went into the historical perception or perspective of like Strom Thurmond back in the 90s, in the latter part of his career. That, by the way, the KKK Democrat, shocking, it's a Democrat. But the latter part of his career, he was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. His mind was gone, completely compromised. Yet no one in D.C. and the D.C. press corps would mention it. It wasn't understood. You just let him dawdle through his meetings. And then the article also goes into how many people in D.C. are just old. And I know that's a little bit challenging and a little bit ugly to say, hey, that person is old. They're 75 and then they're 75. You may have somebody that's a little bit frail or their body is more beat up, and there's other people that are more robust. All shtick and kidding aside, there may be a little ambient noise out here. I hear a truck coming. But all shtick aside, Biden and Trump are not the same mentally. And we know, and we've been talking a little bit about Biden reading at the debates the other night. He was reading off of a contact lens, maybe separate story. But the press corps won't cover it and they won't mention it. Now, how do we follow an aging political structure? Like, what do we do as the press? I'm not part of the press, but how do we cover that? But then also, how do we deal with this? The left absolutely hates old white people, yet who do they try to elect to every position is old white people. So there's some challenges there. Now, I said all of that to say this. Two things. One, D.C. really is old. Like, the right in line for the presidency, should bad things befall, is an 80-year-old Nancy Pelosi. And 80, it's not just about being 80, but she's dawdling a little bit. But then also the other part to that is what really made me stop and press record, is that the entire article, it covered Strom Thurmond, it covered a lot of the different folks that are up on Capitol Hill. I mean, there's one dude who's in charge of the entire finance committee. The head cheese of the finance committee is 94, and the press won't touch him. Apparently, he's lost it as well, but the press won't mention it because he is in power and he's a leftist. You go through an article. Here's where I get to my point. You go through an entire article. It made me mad last night. It makes me mad today. An entire article about covering age. When do we say goodbye? When should these folks retire? About the challenges of serving in political offices like this. And the entire article never mentioned Joe Biden. It mentioned his age one time, but it didn't mention any of his compromised faculties. And I think regardless of which side of the political aisle you're on, you can admit, or you at least should admit if you do your homework, that he is gone. Like, he is compromised, and like seriously compromised from a cognitive standpoint. Now, I know Trump, of course, is compromised physically. I mean, he's obese. It's a challenge over the last couple of weeks. The number one co-killer of the coof is morbid obesity, and he had it. Now, we don't even know if he actually really had the virus, but it's a challenge. How do we cover an aging president? Plus, just watching how the press has covered this entire thing. Back to the Q thing, I'm watching that. I watch that when I get up to the Wi-Fi and get back to being plugged in. I will watch that. Hey, I'm at Thunder Ranch. I am really, really excited about all of that. I'll be doing some coverage here. I'm taking a long distance class with Taryn Butler, James Reeve, Short Shorts, and Jack Carr, the author. So it's, I think, 4 of us taking a 4-day class. Should be a lot of fun. But if you have any comments, leave them right down below. I brought my camera this time, so I'm actually going to try to check in with y'all. I'm excited. I'm going to go up the hill and have some dinner with Clint and Heidi and some good folks. So to all of y'all, again, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate all of y'all. I've got nothing besides these deadly fists from my cold, dead hands. Bye.